All right. Okay, so we're going to start early. Shekina's going to be here in 15 minutes. We'll put on a little bit of her music. Here we go. See here. 1 second. Let's see if I can find some of her music. That was a trailer for a conference, a musical conference in Sedona. Let's see. Here we go. How's it going, everybody? Let's see what else we can dig up with Shekina. See what else she's got here. Okay. Well, how's it going, everybody? Shekina's going to be here in about 5 minutes. Elena Starbucks, she missed it. Hello, Sedona. Keith Anthony Blanchard. If you haven't caught his show, his program, I believe it's called Circle of Light. I might be wrong, but Keith Anthony Blanchard is doing a good work out there. I would highly encourage each and every one of you to turn on the camera and start putting your truth out there. Even if it's to one person, the more we do that, the more we activate each other. And that truth can be anything at all. It can be what you're going through, the pressure you're feeling. It can be a dimensional experience, downloads, channeling, transmissions, physical discomfort, angst, all that stuff. That's how we light each other up. All right, now, let me see if I can find one more song of Shekina's. And then we'll, she should be arriving at that point. Here's one.
In the violet flame, in the violet flame, you are released. All is transcended, transformed to divine source essence now. New body template now. New earth, divine original blueprint now. Transcending, transforming. All vows, oaths, curses, past life, Atlantis, Lemuria, Hexus, crucifixion. All not of source divine essence. Sovereign power now. If you're true to released. Sovereignty, wholeness, unity, oneness, harmony, peace, transcend, in the violet flame, in the violet flame, you are released. All is transcended, transformed to divine source essence now. New body template now. New earth, divine original blueprint now. Transcending, transforming all vows, oaths, curses, past life, Atlantis, Lemuria, hexes, crucifixion, all not of source divine essence. Sovereign power now of your true divine original blueprint now. Dissolved, transcended, transformed, all limitations, all implants, all remains, all low self-worth, all self-sabotage, all deserving worthiness, alienation, clearing all entities, spirit attachments, all disconnection to life, restored, aligned, repaired, universal life force, source of energy now, restored, repaired in the violet flame, and the violet flame, and the rose ray, in the violet flame of the rose ray, you are sovereign, you are whole, and you are released.
Wow. Was that a big wow or what? Wow. She's amazing. Hello, Patricia Satchwell, everybody in the Zoom room. Waiting on Shekina. Shekina and I we have a history of late starts and technical difficulties, but we also have a history of alignment on special days. And everyone knows that the first 5 days of this month has been very intense, to include the 4th of July, coming out of that eclipse, all that stuff happening. Remember to go easy on yourself and go easy on each other. I'm going to check with her and see if she's having any problems. Tell you what, let me find another one of her masterpieces. Let's see. Here's one. As soon as she comes in, we'll turn the music off and start the show.
Blessings, namaste. From this amazing place of this very powerful vortex at Cathedral, one of my favorite places, and the place where the land of Gaia has called me home and to live. There has been a message from the inner earth and from the Pleiades, and one of the one earth. We speak of the new earth here
amongst the Starseeds and the light workers. And the new earth is a tournament. It's a vibrational resonancy frequency where we can tune in, and where it has a certain awakening, like a trigger, as the numbers do, as well as the 1111 and the 1212 gateways, and 444 and 13, which is 13 is a newer number, and 333 is a newer number that has been activating us in a way of remembrance within our cellular DNA of the sacred divine feminine, the awakening of the sacred divine feminine, of ascension, of 333, of coming together, that we're doing it as a unity. 333 as the sacred trinity. We're doing it as the embodiment of our bodies, templates becoming crystalline, and of the higher source resonance within our fields and within the earth plane as the 333. And also the 333 has other information and awakening for us. The inner earth Pleiadian beings came to me in their ship on the 1111, and out here at the Vortex of Cathedral. And when they did, it was a very powerful experience for me. And what happened is there was a very powerful awakening, and there was a communion and a connection and a relationship that started for many years. And after this contact, this awakening, which I realize now is a part of my lineage, is the realms started to open up, just almost like literally, clear as day. I could see these blueprints, all kinds of different blueprints, one after the next, and this continued for 3 months. These blueprints were technologies, interstellar technologies, portals, city of lights, energies, all different technologies that serve the highest and greatest good. The beings have another message to share with us. It is of the one earth, and it is of the unity grid consciousness that we are here to awaken and to connect with. There is a new way of contact. You are, and we are being awakened and contacted by our galactic, interdimensional, ascended realm families. This contact is happening a little bit differently now than perhaps that it happened a few years ago, as on the 1111, when I had a few beings physically show up here at the Cathedral Vortex, and also Mother Mary, who brought the Rose Ray. What has been happening is a different way of communication. Now, because of circumstances and situations and timelines, and because of where we are right now, and because of the technology, the interstellar technologies, that we can be tracked, we can be connected by our resonancy frequency. And so, certain contact is being made in a different kind of fashion. Contact is being made through our auditory clairaudience, when we hear these different signals and we hear these different frequencies in like one of our ears, or then on the other ear it'll be really loud and it'll stop, maybe it'll happen again, and then you'll feel something and you'll be kind of like stopped in your tracks in life, just as when you see the number frequencies. And so this contact that is being made is happening at a very high resonancy, high frequency level. And the way that I have been experiencing it is, when I wake up, I will see this portal, and it is of like a higher dimensional field. And in this portal, in this field, is communication. This communication is movement, it is of design, it is of resonancy, and it is of frequency. It's not always in words. So we're not always telepathing. In the way in which I telepath is that I'm not actually saying the words, but I'm hearing the words, or I'm experiencing an understanding that is very full within my being. This communication is happening, and the communication is happening because they wish to establish and help us to awaken and remember about the one earth and about the unity field conscious grid. The unity field conscious grid exists. We are being more revealed to our electrical, magnetic, our resonancy field of nature. And there is a great power in that, and there's a great power in our unity. This unity field conscious grid existed where we connected more on a conscious level in Atlantis and in Lemuria in a little bit different fashion, but we connected in with these frequencies and this oneness. And many of the beings that I have been connecting with, the Shimbalas, these beautiful, incredible Ascended Masters, they are Sanat Kumara, they are Lady Venus, they are Saint Germain, they're Lady Nada, and there are of this group, and there are others that are ascended beings that are also connected in with this group that have a bit of a more of a Mayan influence, kind of a native, indigenous Mayan influence in the way that they look, but they're also ascended beings, and they are collectively working and helping us. And how we're communicating now is through this one earth, this one field. It's very powerful and it's very significant. And
Shekina Rose. Wait a minute. Let's see what's happening. Oh, wait a minute. I hear you. Hang on a second. I don't see you, but that's okay.
Well, let me see.
I told
Share
everybody.
screen?
Huh?
Is that what we do?
No, you don't have to share screen. Your video camera is not hooked up to Zoom. So you could probably go. Actually, wait a minute. You can actually do it in here. If I can remember how to
Your
do it.
meeting will begin soon. The Zoom client you're installing will shorten the time it takes to join a meeting. Because I just downloaded Zoom.
Yeah, we're on live, by the way. Just letting you know.
Oh,
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so what does it say? You should be.
Okay, it says 99%.
Oh,
okay.
That's downloaded something. I don't know.
I think so. Oh, you got to enter your email. I'm so sorry. I have this new computer.
No, you're actually on. You're in the show already. The only thing is your camera's not on. Can you see my face?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, we just can't see you. We can't see.
Let me see if I do one more thing.
Yeah. Either that, or you could go out and come back in.
Okay. Your name is Shekina Rose. Okay, join webinar.
Yeah, there you
go. Webinar.
Oh wait, you're on twice. I think you're on twice now.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay,
Yeah. Whatever you just did, close. Actually, get out of Zoom. You'll probably have 2 Zoom windows going on right now. I'd get out of both of them and then come back.
I did one. Should I go out and come back in again?
No. I guess if you want to try to get your face on, let me try something. Hang on. Let's try this. You got a message there I just sent you?
Okay, go back to Messenger.
No. It should have showed up on a Zoom screen.
Okay, let me go. Let me see. Start my video.
Yes, that's it. That didn't work. That's okay. That's
Start
okay.
my video. Allow. Wait. Here we go. Allow.
There you go. We always start like this. We play three.
New technology. This is a big deal for me, Todd. A big deal. I haven't gotten a new computer since 2007.
Wow. You've been operating with a dinosaur.
Yes. Well, I keep my technology, and I work with a man who can just take care of it, because there's some things that I just don't like doing. So this is like a big deal. This whole upgrade thing.
So we listened to 2 of your pieces, really 3 of them. Yeah, and the last one you were talking, you were out at Cathedral Rock talking about I'm sorry, forgive my ill manners. Hello, my beautiful, beloved Blue Ray sister. It's so good to see you. You're very dear to my heart. And I miss Sedona, I miss you. But I know we're all out there connected, interdimensionally and otherwise.
Yes. Thank you for that, Todd. And it's really good to see you. And I haven't talked to you in a while. And however, I was really looking forward to, this exchange, because something always happens with this exchange. And a lot of times we'll connect at the summer solstice. We'll have a connection, and we didn't this time. So I missed the magic in the community.
Yeah.
Community, because we're in a community, Todd. This is connecting and expanding. What you're doing and what we're doing is connecting, and it's expanding the community.
Yes.
And we really need this. We always have, but we really need this at this time to move forward. We need each other. We need to know about each other. We need to connect with each other. We need to see each other.
Yeah.
Even seeing each other and knowing that each other is out there and what they're doing helps us, helps the individual. And it strengthens the community and the frequency.
Yeah. You're singing to the choir, as they say in the South. No. I couldn't have said it better. It's I mean, I think the first time we came together was on the solstice, and Mother Mary came, and then when I went to Sedona, and I don't know, I need to dig up this MP4 when we did a impromptu, spontaneous, against Shekina's will Sunday service from Sedona, and I had the technology screwed up the first half, but then the second half I fixed it, and you said you were going to bring in the Rose Ray, and through the window with the music and everything working right, that Rose Ray came in through the window on camera. It was amazing. So yeah, I agree with you, and it's been a very intense post-solstice period for everyone in a hard, loving, but very good way.
This eclipse, this new moon, has been the most powerful I've experienced. And what's been happening is that ever since there's been more experiences, but ever since I had the Angel Deva embody me and sing with me when I was with Kimberly and we were performing, I instantly shifted, almost like a near-death experience, but not as intense. It shifted my frequency immediately. It elevated me, and I started noticing I was more connected and expanded interdimensionally with nature and the realms. And that also included the celestial, the moon and the celestial cycles. And I noticed an increase. And I think many are experiencing this new moon, feeling more of the new moon in the energies, because I've had people call me and men who were not very connected in that way. And they would say, I'm really feeling these things, that these energies like I've never before. I've never felt the energies of the new moon. And others are experiencing this. I started experiencing a heightened awareness of the celestial energies after I had this embodiment with the angel, and when she sang through me. And this time I felt the new moon. I felt the new moon and the eclipse coming on probably 2 days. 2 days prior, I could start feeling the energies completely through my empathic interdimensional awareness. And it was powerful, Todd. And I remember I got up in the morning on the eclipse, and I messaged Tom Bear, and I said, Tom Bear, I'm just checking in. I normally don't talk to him in the morning because I do my work all day and then I have to get on the land. I said, I'm just checking in with you because I don't know who I'll be. I don't know who I'll be by the end of this eclipse, because it was so powerful and transformative. And wow, Todd, it was really, really powerful. Like nothing that I've experienced before. I mean, I woke up that day and experienced a power through me and a whole bunch of things that I never felt before. I mean, by the end of the day, the next day I was tired, and the only thing I could say was it was power. And I never experienced that kind of power in my being. And things happened to me and I was doing things all day, like my mind was on, I was strong, I was powerful, and I was like more in alignment with my essence and my being, which I haven't experienced before, because I saw things like interdimensionally. Like I was driving, and all of a sudden I stepped back from myself. I was in my body, but at the same time I went out of my body. And from this other place, I looked where I was now and saw a pattern, and how I had been a little bit like I've taken this pattern my whole life, because I don't know, like it served me, right? And it was more like the Blue Ray thing, this always retreating, always not being as strong as I could be, and always just going into that sensitive empath withdrawalness.
Mm.
And I saw a pattern with relationships, and I saw it outside of myself, but I was still with myself. It was like there was a couple of dimensions happening at the same time, and I saw how I could change it. It would happen in a moment.
Wow.
Like this was an opportunity for me to see this. Like I could see this now, and that I could change it and I could shift it if I wanted, in an instant, like forever. So powerful. That whole day was like that. And I also had time slips. Todd, I want to mention, I had something happen to me where first the power was on.
Right.
And I was not used to being so powerful. It's hard to describe. And I feel this is not only for myself. There's these eclipses, these energies are bringing this celestial alignment with Mother Earth Gaia, because we're doing this with Mother Earth Gaia, is bringing a enhanced divine power and support and especially for the, well, I'm going to say it like this, the ultra-sensitive blue rays for sure, and for the ultra-sensitive empaths who have been more inward. It's bringing in energies, basically it's up-leveling energies to whatever that you need, okay? Whatever that is most important to you. And for the blue rays, like for myself, I needed to know what it was like to be powerful, but divinely powerful. Because I think my whole life I've stepped away just a bit. I've always retreated, just always going back. Don't be too powerful. I didn't even know that I was doing it per se until I experienced what it was like, and that, wow, that I liked it and it could serve me, and you know, in a certain way, like in a balanced kind of way. And I also realized that this is for all of us.
Yeah.
It's like the reason why we raise our frequency, Todd, is so that we can, it's not just, oh, let's just raise our frequency just la-di-da so that we can just do this. We raise our frequency so that we can be in these positions.
Yeah.
So that when these alignments come in, or when there are downloads from the cosmic source, we can receive them.
Yeah.
So that we can be a higher divine being.
Yeah.
And that includes a lot.
Yeah.
Like so much.
That's
so this,
that's the spark of collective transformation, what you're describing. Unity Grace dropped by yesterday with a friend, and her and Morgan were talking, and Unity said over the last few days, this same time period you're talking about, that she'd been getting, let's see if I can find the right words, it's time to step up. In other words, it can come if we reach for it, if we be it, you know.
yes.
You know, if we, yes. And Morgan mentioned to her that she'd been receiving the same thing the last few days. Like if there's nothing holding us back. We're being supported. The energy and the support is available to us. But it's a total stepping away, not so much stepping away from the matrix or 3D, but stepping into ourselves, our true power, our real power. And it is the base component of the collective transformation, is that each one of us does that.
Yes. And we're you know, we're collectively affecting each other. We're collectively helping each other and assisting each other, regardless of, it's very interesting, regardless of what kind of the other world is choosing. Because there's, you know, we're living in a lot of frequency dimensions on this one realm. In this realm that we're in, we call this 3D realm. We're living in a lot of different dimensional frequencies, but we're all in the realm, and we can do that. And because there's other frequencies out there,
yeah,
and you know, they're having a different experience, and you know, they're more in darkness, in ego, or fighting, or what have you, stuck. But that, it's interesting, does not affect who we are.
Yeah.
And our progression and our evolution and our ascension. And what I've seen too is we have to continue on our path.
Yeah.
We can't be sidestepped or stuck in any patterns or any peoples or any relationships that would hurt us, would be destructive, that would be toxic, that would divert us, because this happens lifetime after lifetime. This can happen. And we're not here to do that.
No.
And even though the other world is doing that, you know, we have to let that go. Although we still have to be in the world, because this is real ascended mastery.
Yeah.
You know, to be in the world still, and not leave and not go. Be a part of the world, but continue on with the frequency and the peoples and the situations and the organizations and the communities that truly support us. I mean, we have to do this.
Yeah.
You know, we're called to do this, and this will, at some point, affect the whole. You know, the complete whole. It's been very interesting to me, but I've always known that. I always known a long time ago that this is how it would be. That it wouldn't be that we're all going to be holding hands, the whole entire world. What's that? Come ya, my Lord, or something. That's not happening.
Kumbaya.
It's not happening. And you know, it's, you know, back when there were light workers, it's like, we got to affect the whole world. We got to help the whole world. We got to get all of them. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's your path. You know, for me, I've always known, you know, the most important thing is that I stay on my path. And that the mother frequency allows all to be here, and it's all supported, even though I can't figure it out. Like, we can't figure this out, how wide that all can be at this particular time, because we're not almighty, all God at this particular time. But it's all somehow working together. We just have to stay, you know, on this path. However, not get caught up. We really can't, because if we do, it can still hurt us. Sure
it can. And yeah. And I have a feeling that the more that the level of well, it just makes sense. The level of chaos is directly proportionate to our not being true to ourselves, or not following that guidance that we each receive on our own unique basis. And I really agree with what you were saying. I actually said something like that in between a couple of your videos before you came on. What you said when you first came in, and that is, everyone, I mean, I told them I would encourage any of you to pick up a camera and just start talking. Turn on the video live and just start talking. Telling people, even if it's one person, what you're going through, what's going on. It's your truth. And the truth, you know, sometimes we think of the truth as being this esoteric pearls of wisdom or some sacred text, but the truth is, we are the truth. We're the living truth. And you know, this is a unique experience that the universe really hasn't ever had, and we're doing something in a physical realm that is absolutely incredible. The other thing that happened right before you came on is I picked a third video or fourth video, and it was the one in regard to the post 11/11, regard to the inner earth beings and the Pleiadian message of a unity. I don't remember what word you used, but yeah, unity, one earth unity, what that is, what they were telling you. And I don't know if it's a result of that video or not. It really doesn't matter, because they're like, you know, popping up in my third eye, both Pleiadian, which is the first for me, and the inner earth, which is I've seen before, those beings, I mean, in my third eye. What was that message I know that mess, and we got cut off on it, but what was that message of the Unity One Earth? What was their message, and what One Earth family were they referring to? Were they referring just to the human being, or were they referring to all the Earth family?
To all of us, to all of us. That's when this has been a progression. Being here, it's a progression of different facets of spirit and divine connecting with. But that's when I was at Cathedral, and it was out the 11/11. I had an experience that shifted me about what peace was, and I had what I thought were the Pleiadians come in a ship, and I communicated. I wanted to communicate with them, and I wanted to find out who they were. They wouldn't tell me who they were. And when I asked them who they were, the first things that they said, I was surprised how strong the message was, telepathy. And the message was, we're here for peace. And that just, you know, when I hear messages like this, it's not just the words, it's a frequency that happens. And when I heard them say, and that's the only thing they said, that was the first time, the first message was just, we're here for peace. And then we communicated more and connected more. There was a whole experience within my whole being of what that meant. And it was almost like a high, a peace high. Because I experienced it as a real, true understanding, wisdom, a way of life, and that it was real through all things. And they continued for some time to communicate with me. But basically what they did is they it's like through for frequency. It's like there's like a frequency of united peace that resonates through and throughout the earth and through the cosmos. It's like a wave frequency. And it's real how we can come to greater understanding about things, like within our own self, like how we're coming and coming together, like literally. They downloaded me with blueprints of very high technologies, because these technologies wanted to be on the earth plane. Yeah. And these technologies, you know, calm peace technologies, as you will, but they were technology that would help our earth, you know, clean up the earth, free energy, city lights. It was technologies that would serve humanity.
Yeah.
And so they downloaded that through me because there needed to be a vehicle.
Yeah.
That's why we raised our vibration, so that when these things happen, whether it be, you know, our Pleiadian brothers or sisters, or whether it be Christos or Sophia or the Devas, or the download energy that the cosmos of the source is releasing at this time, so that we can absorb that. And because as we allow that and absorb that, that awakens, that literally awakens our crystalline structure, that literally awakens our cellular memory within us. There is a match of that energy. And then it's like, then it becomes online, because we accepted that frequency, that energy. So that's peace. So that it's almost like they released a peace wave frequency through the earth, through the cosmos. And so that's why we raised our frequency, because it hits us at different times.
Yeah.
It shows us different things, like different sessions, different things to do, different ways, in innovative ways.
Yes.
To make harmony, to make alignment, and not only, on a large scale, but on an intimate scale.
Yes.
With your personal relationship, with your friends, with your family, with the earth, what you do, how you live your life. It can awaken a greater sense of unity and harmony. And see, before that, and so I'm trying to explain a download of peace, of what that was. And to a certain degree, that's how I would describe it. See, that helps us to remember our lineages. That helps us to be more open dimensionally to our family of light.
Yeah.
It's quite expansive, and when they gave it to me, what I started actually doing is I actually started making technologies that would hold frequencies, because being able to hold the frequency, that's what I started making. I didn't make pendants. I started making the Pleiadian Stargate pendants back then. Yeah. Now I do. Now Sedona showed me the crystals, so now I work with the actual Sedona crystals, and work with that particular technology, the earth technology.
So and you go out every day on the land?
I try.
And when you go out on the land, I mean, typically, like, what's your typical routine, or is it all different every day?
It's dependent on the weather.
Yeah.
When it's really, really hot, then I have to be at the water. Yeah. So I have to go to a different area, but it's usually the same area. So the Devas have helped me to be able to go to the water, to a private area. And like today, I'll go because I didn't go this morning, so I'll go later on. So I go and I spend an hour to a few hours, and there's nobody there, and I am quiet. This is me. This is what I have to do. And I walk around the land, and I commune with the land, and I listen, and I be. And I exchange. And then when it's not as hot, then I can go up on other areas, hiking and different, areas, that I go to. And sometimes it won't be a long hike. Sometimes it'll be a space that I'll continue to go to, so that I can just like make that exchange, with the earth.
Yeah.
And with the Devas. And actually, what I'm feeling is that I need more time. Yeah. It's happened in the last couple of weeks. This eclipse started coming in, and then I knew that I had to clean everything out. I had to clear everything. I'm in the midst right now of cleaning or getting rid of things. I mean, if you look at the place, I'm painting, upgrading. I'm getting, there's the Pleiadian line I'm not going to do anymore. I'm going to solely do the Sedona Vortex crystals. I'm doing new sessions, which I've never done before. I'm cleaning everything out, getting rid of everything, organizing everything. And it's like, I have to.
Yes.
I have to for this new space.
Yeah.
And I'm also needing way more time in nature. I mean, way more time. So there was a day, it was the other day, it was one day, it was just the other day. I wasn't able to get in nature. It was one day. And so the next day came, I got up and I'm doing all my work, and all of a sudden I get this right in here, like in my higher heart, I almost want to cry. I want to cry. And I go, that's it. That's it. I know I got a lot going on. I'm going now. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
So I go down, and there's just, it's like we need her medicine now more than ever. It's like we need her medicine and she needs our medicine. There's something that happens with Mother Earth Gaia.
Yeah.
There's a sacred exchange that happens through my being. Yeah. Because that's another thing that I realized. I'm an earth keeper. I am an earth keeper. I am a sacred earth keeper. I didn't know that so much, but it was like she gave me the name. She's like, I'm an earth keeper, and there are many earth keepers. There's tons of us out there, but that name just rang true to me. I'm an earth keeper.
I want to just make a note. There's a lot of energy frequency being generated on the show. I'm sitting here watching these comments, both in Zoom and on Facebook. The sound is going off and on for some people. The video is, the audio's on and video off for some other people. They're getting knocked off and coming back on, knocked off and coming back on. I don't think that's a bad sign. I think that's everybody knows what happened to Facebook and their subsidiaries 2-3 days ago. They all pretty much slowed down to super slow motion. But I think this is further evidence of the non-physical, the etheric frequency being raised through the spontaneous, through what you're talking about at the top of the show. People coming out and talking about this more and more and more, and not to underestimate whether you're talking to just the universe or a million people, because it's activating something. It's what you're talking about. It's that giving and receiving. It's almost like we can't receive unless we give, or we can't receive unless we surrender or open, or whatever that word is. But yeah, I think it's real important at this time. And I think it's important what you said in the last 2 weeks, which I think there's been a lot of necessity for alone time, because something's happening inside. That's how it feels for me. I'm getting hot a lot. I know that's happened to Morgan. I know Unity was talking about it yesterday, but I feel like something inside is really transforming and changing at all levels, physical and non-physical, I guess, chakras, whatever the, and it's taking, it is a lot of force and power.
Todd, it's been so extraordinary. That's what I've been going through, and with this too, with the eclipse as well, I've also had to look at a relationship that I had. I didn't really look at that. Like, that came into my face. I was kind of revisited. I was able to see it again, and I really needed to see it from a different space. And I needed to go through another aspect of healing with my relationship with male and female relationship. And I was grateful for it. I mean, at first it was a little uncomfortable. Yeah. But I'm really grateful to, it just came up that I was able to experience this other level of relationship. and how I kind of was in this relationship, this male and, male and female relationship. So I was really grateful for that. Like I said, at first it was a little uncomfortable, but that's coming up too. Our relation, our male and female relationships, how we relate to each other.
Yeah.
And that's been going on for a long time. However, I was able to see things, about myself and in the relationship, and how, thank God, is, that I could shift some of those things within me, in the future.
That's interesting, because I remember the last time you were on, I know you received different channels, let's just say channels, isn't it? Information, data, types of data, code or whatever. And you were talking about the fact that you never really had downloaded much information on what people call twin flames or divine couples. And then after that, I think I saw you do a post. And in fact, I know I did. It was maybe a couple weeks later, and I saw you do a post, and you were talking about the different things you were receiving. And again, you brought that up, which I guess we could also call the divine marriage, the within us code, or whatever you might want to call it. And then you get to this point where you're revisiting that relationship of male-female, and then you're having these transformation, shifts, elevations to go with it. What was the gist of what you received in relation to the downloads involving divine marriage or divine union, or whatever you want to call that?
Well, it's, for me, I saw, my patterns, how I was stuck maybe in the past a little bit with relationships. I see that I saw that, for me, I saw that it was really karmic. I saw that particular relationship was really karmic. And I wanted to, and so I kind of saw how this pattern, I saw this pattern, and I saw how that, being able to see that and accept that, could shift so that I could have a higher relationship, so that I could have a higher frequency relationship. I see it all shifting so much. This twin flame soulmate relationship, understanding. It's large. It's so large. It's so dynamic. I think that we inherently long for that, what we call that twin flame. Yeah. Relationship. This harmonic balance that really uplifts us and really serves us, and we can really see each other, and we can really hold the space for each other, and we can actually really love each other and support each other, and really accept each other without these, the male and female. I mean, Todd, I think we're still really working on this male and female relationship. It's not easy.
No, it's the last line of it's the last line of separation, because of the fact that it's too, well, it's more than that. I mean, it's inside of us, but then you take it to the relationships. The two involved in any relationship. There's an element of that co-creation, compatibility, collaboration, the mutual honor, love, respect, all this stuff. It's like we are that, but like with the story you're telling, it's like as we get to this, it's kind of like that story you told earlier about popping out of your body and looking at yourself. It's like what you're explaining now. You're looking at, you revisited you know, and that was just a representation of an energy, right? You revisited that energy of the male, female in a episode of your life, and you see what you said, your patterns, your behaviors, the way you were affected. It reminds me. That reminds me too of that story you told about popping out of your body too, because you saw the geometry around you, you saw the math, the design around you, right? The template around you, and then you said you could instantly change it.
Yes, that's the thing. Because I saw, it's interesting, I'm just seeing this now. Because when the eclipse came, I mean, I was in this, there was a power. There was a power that was a force that I've never experienced within my being. And it enabled me to, like, I accepted it, right? It enabled me to think different thoughts and show up differently, like I showed up. And one of my friends even made a comment on it. She's like, you know, you normally go inward and I don't see you for a while. She's like, wow, you're showing up. You're powerful. And but I also saw that in my, so I saw it personally with me when I had that kind of an out of body dimensional experience, but I also saw it when I came face to face again with this relationship. And I also saw how I wasn't in my power, like how I retreated. I let a little bit of male dominance happen, and then I wasn't as communicative, and so I kind of retreated, and so I put a wall up. So I just put walls up.
It's that pattern. It's that same pattern you described earlier, but you were talking about it in relation to, in a more general way. And I think specific to your power. You were saying you pulled it in like a Blue Ray Empath, and you created this template, but you were able to change and transform in that moment of awareness. And I think that's what's happened. You know, these energies hit us. It brings in everything parallels, be it your transformation of your carbon body, your light body, or whatever cellular upgrades or whatever the case is, but also our awareness of what's going on, what's happened. I think this is how judgment, I think, begins to go away. You know, there is no judgment. You know what I mean? This has been coming in hard to me for a couple, 2-3 days. Even yesterday, and I said it earlier, but that judgment, this was just me communing as I was walking, judgment is a door to an unknown arrogance, you know? And I was like, wow. And I started like looking at all different things, judgments, and beneath it, the gift of an unconscious arrogance. All these little minutiae, infinite, finite little details, relationships, work, habits, behaviors. I mean, it's deeply affected us. Just like this, the relationship thing, the energy of the male and female, which is in us. You know, it's a real gift to have a mirror in my life that close, and it teaches you a lot, but it also that energy or that opportunity is available for us in every human interaction, every interaction that we have all day long, every day.
Yes, I see that. That, I've been single for a little while now, and I think I'm more happier about that now that I've been single for a little while, because it just gives me an opportunity, to really see, to really be in my power, and when in a future relationship that I can be, I hope to be different. I hope to be more in my power, and not be in that pattern anymore. That I used to be, because I can really shut people out. Especially, I didn't realize, like, my relationship, but my male relationship, my male female relationship, so that I can be in it. So I go into another space. I just retreat, and I just withdraw. And and then at certain places, you know, connect in. I've really seen that. And like you said, opportunities. Now, what you were saying before is really interesting, that this thing you were talking about, how there's like, it's an internal experience, transformation that you're experiencing. Because I don't know how long this has been happening, but I noticed maybe more this year. It's been sometime this year, probably after we got out of the heavy density of the first part of the year. I noticed ongoing, there's this thing. And I looked at it the other day, because it's like, what is this that I'm experiencing all the time? It's like so different. And it's like internal, it's external, it's and it's an actual it's a feeling, it's within me, but it's kind of physical, but it kind of feels spiritual at the same time. And but it's wonderful. It's like this wonderful thing. It's like it almost feels like the energy is like here always, like it's like expanding here, and it makes me want to connect. It makes me want to have like real connections and intimacy with people. It's like I want to. It makes me want to like be soul to soul.
Yeah.
Like no matter what. Like the day, it was interesting because the day before, and I call it like, what it kind of came to me was, you know what I feel like I'm experiencing? I feel like I'm experiencing the 5D. Yeah. I'm experiencing the 5th dimensional frequency. With my body is starting to adhere to that, to align to that. And it was so cute because, you know, the energies are powerful, and being an empath, sensitive, intuitive, we're really riding and feeling the waves of the celestial, of the consciousness, and it is a gift. And the day before the eclipse, it was really powerful, but it was like, you know, before the burst, and I remember feeling like I was in molasses, right? And I'm like, come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's pop it open. I want to be real. I want to feel you. And then, because it was just like molasses day. And the next day, everything just opened up. And it was like all my inner reactions with whomever, the person at ACE, the person at this place, you know, little reactions were different.
Yeah.
And I was experiencing this magic in the soul between all of it. And I said to myself, you know, it's not set up perfect. It's in everything, all the people.
Yeah.
And you know, we have these stations of life. It kind of made me think when you're talking about judgment, like in life, sometimes we've been in the system so long, we still don't see it.
Yeah.
You know, we still have these classes, you know, classes of titles or where you work or how much money or how less money that you have. And it kind of sometimes puts barriers up.
Yeah.
And it opened that up more for me to see. It's like, listen, man, it doesn't matter if they're at a store, if they're at a this or that. This is your soul family.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the magic through all of it.
Yeah.
There is no separation. There is no distinction. There is no classes. There is none of that.
Yeah.
That's created.
Yeah, it's over the last 10 days or so for me, it's been a lot of this expanded awareness that comes from this internal, on all facets, transformation that's happening internally that you feel in your body and all the things you were describing. And then you have this expanded awareness and you start to look at these patterns that you didn't see before. And how could you? You know what I mean? And what ends up happening is And what's been happening to me is it's taken me to a level of compassion. But for me, for me not knowing, and I'm going, oh my God, you know, I'm like, wow. And then you're aware, something transforms in that awareness. And then I can say, I look at myself first and I feel compassion for having been the way I was. But then I look at the other person, and having already looked at myself, it's instant with the other person. I feel more oneness with the other person, whoever it may be that I'm thinking about, you know? Yeah, that's been, and then what you're describing too happened to me this morning. So in the same type of thought, I went to go to the store, and I ended up going two places. I went to get some gas because we were low on gas. And in that store at the gas station, that 5D frequency occurred. And I wasn't going in, oh, everybody's oneness, and it wasn't like that. I was just driving, and I was present to a degree I can't even explain, really almost like dimensional. And I was looking at everything and the signs and symbols of everything, which, you know, I've done before, but I was seeing it in a different way. I was really seeing it in a different way. And then when I went to the first store, the gas station, somebody said something, I can't remember what it was, and it was like 2 or 3 people caught it. It was just this friendly frequency that you don't see all the time. And then I went to the second one, and the same thing happened. The same exact thing happened with the lady behind the counter, 2 people in front of me and the guy behind me. And it was like, wow, what a, and it wasn't like that superficial, hi, how are you? It was all just this magical frequency of, I wouldn't have explained it that way, but like you explained it, like oneness. I was like, whoa. So we're seeing it because we're being it. I guess is what it is.
Yes, yes. I want to share too that more about, because I still specialize in sensitivity of the Blue Ray and the ultra sensitive empath and the sacred divine feminine. And I'm coming into more expansion and awareness of that and of a lot of things. But I realized that our intuitive empath awareness is such a power, like a divine power, and it takes us into our interdimensionality. And I think we need to like know that and hear that, because I still come across clients or people that I run into that, you know, that intuition is not always accepted, and it are the empath, and how hard it is to live in this world as a sensitive empath. I've been there. I understand that. I have strengthened that ability, and I use it. And because I have to tell you, that ability has been in our society squashed down.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. Like, oh, it's just feminine intuition, or no, you know, you gotta have facts. These are the facts, and that's important. And this is a divine power. This is that what we're talking about, part of the lost aspect of the sacred divine feminine. Yeah. This intuition, our empath intuition sensitivity, takes us interdimensionally.
Yes.
Into the dimensional fields.
Yeah.
It's how we know things.
That's right.
And come online with our interdimensionality. It is a divinity. It is a power. Now, not everyone is going to have a very strong intuitive empath sensory, because we have many lineages here on this planet. Some lineages, angelic, cosmic, kind of galactic, you know, lineages lend themselves to certain ways of expressions of the communications and these connections and these awareness. And, you know, whatever that is for you, that should be developed and strong, like, you know, like telepathy.
Yeah.
You know, that's innate, but all of this is innate within us.
Yeah.
This is all part of our innate sensory awareness connections that is our divine original blueprint. And I wanted to share that because I've come to understand that within my own self, what the divinity and the power and the strength is. So if you have that, if you are an ultra sensitive, intuitive empath, that is a divinity and a divine power that you came into this planet to utilize and to reinstate within your, not only your own being, well, with the whole planetary line. I mean, through that, there's amazing things and communication. And it is a language.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great explanation. I hope we can go back and cut out the last 3 or 4 minutes of that. A great explanation. And then, like every show, I get downloaded to different degrees, but I so get what you're saying, and what I'm getting is that you're absolutely correct. Now, 2 things. One is, because there is a physical, because this is a physical realm, and obviously everyone has the masculine and feminine inside of them, but the feminine with the intuition carries obviously most of the time more of that frequency, and the masculine incarnated the same. Not in every case, but pretty much. That's why so many women, if you just look at couples, for instance, are the transmitters. And if you look at the general community, they're the transmitters. There's a few men out there, but there's more coming on now. And you're absolutely right with that description. That is the divine feminine in all of us that was suppressed. So you have an incarnation of masculine or one of a female, and that's 2 different trips, right? So there's self-love for the feminine in us that has to be raised, and that also means the same for the masculine side of us. This is a beautiful explanation of divine union. Now, the other thing that was pointed out to me was it's about the lineages. It's about the lineages. This is why some people, and rightly understood, are so aligned with certain faces or essences of the universe. But the reason that the Earth, one of the reasons the Earth is so special, is because it is a universal seeded planet or realm, or whatever you want to call it. We are the physical representations of that. So we have a lineage there that we each have our strengths. One may be empathic intuition, another may be another skill or ability. And that's what we're doing, is actually embodying that, which is so important, why we step into our powers and our unique skills and abilities and share them. And the reason this is powerful, because it's physically happening as well as non-physically happening. And we're actually going to this oneness in the physical embodiment, where we actually exchange all the codes with each other, period. Then we're all going to have that available to us. But we're the ones that actually make this congeal and happen by sharing it. And that's why the expansion of the throat chakra has been coming in so strong for so many people. And that's really, again, we got to look at it metaphorically. That can be an expression without tonality or resonation of the voice. It can be many, many ways. But the point is to display that and express and emit and share that, because that's code going out from our purest intention and our highest unconditional love merged with our free will. So our free will, the human parts come in going, I'm going to do this. I'm listening. I'm in alignment. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I think that actually means for people more than one thing. There are several templates, if not more, that each one of us represent.
Absolutely, powerfully. This has all been happening to me, and I saw that within myself. This eclipse and these energies has really showed me things about myself where I could shift. And when I started shifting, then people started shifting towards me. They started interacting with me differently, and it was interesting because I was at a yoga class and in the wild, and I was doing my yoga, and I looked at myself and went, I thought to myself, I'm going inward, and I'm not saying anything, but I could feel my energy kind of just withdrawing because I didn't know these people. I've never met these people. Right. And that I've always been a sensitive empath, intuitive. So I always scope, my energy has read the fields of everyone else like that, instantly, down, done. I've already read them, but it's not, I'm thinking it, I feel it immediately, empathically. The people, their levels, where they're at, this, that. There's no judgment on it. I just I can feel it all, and all together. So I felt that, and so then I did my thing. I wanted to kind of started to go inward, and something inside of me said, "Don't do that. Don't withdraw your energy just because you read everyone there, and they're at different places than you are." Okay. And so what I did is I said, yes, because, it's a gift for us to show up. It's a gift, and it's a present when we really show up. Mm-hmm. So I decided, I'm like, that's not right of me. Mm-hmm. So I brought in my energy field, and I tune myself. I let my wings come out, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be here, And what was funny was, at the end of the class, I'm sitting there. I never said anything, right? And the yoga teacher, she looks at me and she's like, wow, it looks like there's light all around you coming up, right? Look at the light is all around you, and look at the light behind you. And I just smiled, and it made me feel so good that I could still be present and not say a word, but share my divinity, my love, my light, with not even just by being in my expression of who I am.
Yeah, and that goes for everybody, and that's
yes,
that's the beautiful thing. That's the basic component of this collective transformation. It's like all you got to do is be yourself. And I know that sounds very human, but this is in context of everything we've been discussing about our multidimensionality, interdimensionality, our skills, abilities, our lineage, and everything. As we know it in this moment with our awareness in this moment. It's like, what is it? Have we been, we had all these, well, we know now. We had all these different masks on, even if it was in this relationship you're talking about that just popped up over the last few days to teach you something new and elevate you. We put on masks. We weren't ourselves. Yeah. And we're getting used to being ourselves. And that's okay. That's a good thing.
Yes. We're not taught this.
Yeah.
We're not taught any of this. I wasn't taught any of this. Probably our generation, and even nowadays, we're really not taught who we are, how to express ourselves, who we really are, about our gifts, about our
We're told who to be. We're told who to be, right?
So, and we as our souls, you know, like you were talking about compassion for yourself, our souls decided to come in these bodies, this slight vehicle that doesn't fully express our whole divinity.
Right.
And what we're doing is we're evolving the human again.
Yeah.
We have to go through these steps because we're collectively doing this together. We're not coming in as ascended masters right now, like Buddha. Buddha came in as more of an ascended being who was able to work with the godhood, and but that's was his path. Our paths are because the Blue Rays come particularly in dysfunctional genetics and families, and are the oddball usually in their family.
Yeah.
Because they want to evolve those energies, that generation from the past and the generation to the future. How they do it, how we do it, is we have to bring in our frequency, fully embodied in it, and heal the patterns of our generation, of our family, of our genetics. That's how we do it. So we're here to actually do that, to go through these sometimes uncomfortable feelings.
Yeah.
We're here to evolve this human that has been. That's our job. And everything that comes with it. And it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous, precious, beautiful gift and purpose.
Your higher self has not stopped moving for the last hour. He's doing all kinds of like, I don't know what it is. Spinning around sacred geometry, waves, and a lot of violet and blue. Is there anything you want to do before we sign off? You want to do? You want to connect? You want to connect? You want to do light language? Whatever you want to do. You want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to share that I'm doing a new session.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. All my sessions are on the phone. For all, 8 years, I have been connecting with people on the land here and there. But I've had, I'm having, I call myself an angel medium now. Because because that's how it is now. These angels, these high devas, these high angels will come through me, through their hands, right through my hands, out and touch the people, or sing through me. And because of the crystals, I got these beautiful crystals of Sedona, and they need to have connection with the people.
Yeah.
So I've been using the crystals. They're specific wands, crystals, and the wands, and I've got the different wands, Devic wands, and placing them on the people with the crystals, though, to awaken their own crystal activation and singing the language of light, and as an angel medium, bring in these high ascended masters and beings.
Wow.
And I'm going to be doing that.
You do those one-on-one. You do those one-on-one.
I'm going to be doing it at Kimberly's studio.
Well, I got to tell you, and I think that's fantastic. That totally. A couple of strange things. I got to mention this first. A couple of strange things happened during this show when you were telling two different stories, and one was when you popped out of your body. That was the first one. But then there was a second one, and you were talking. Oh, you were talking about the yoga thing. out in the on the land. And I was actually, like, as you were telling it, I was actually there. I was like watching the whole thing. It was pretty weird. Oh, I was going to tell you, I think that's fantastic. I received a note from a lady today, and I know her, but I can't remember who it is. And she said, and I just want to say to everybody watching that we receive messages and comments every day of support and beautiful testimonials and stories. So I just want to thank everybody for that, because it helps. It inspires, it motivates, it relieves, it does a lot for me because it gets a little difficult sometimes. But anyway, she wrote me a note and she said, thank you and Morgan for what you do. It means a lot to me. Really, you know, all the people that come on the show, I've learned so much. It's changed my life and so on. And one of the people I met was Kimberly Maji Griffin, right? And she says, so I went to Sedona and I had a session with her and it was incredible. And so I was remembering this as you were telling me what you were doing, and I knew that you were going to be doing it in your studio, then you said it. But so I think you guys have initiated something there. I don't think it's going to do anything but broaden its potential, and whatever that looks like. So this is what it's all about. This is exactly what it's all about. It's about a network that takes on a physicality, people coming together in the flesh, in the same geographic location, same time. And these are incredibly impactful to the holy human grid, you know? They really are.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm happy that you're doing that. Now, do you still do phone sessions too?
Mostly I do I'll still probably do mostly phone sessions,
Okay.
but I'm opening it up to actually having, you know, a place where I can, you know, touch and connect with the people.
Yeah.
Because this thing inside of me it's like this, it's like love. It's like this higher love. And it's like, I have to connect out and use this because it's like, it's like creating stronger in me. And so then this whole thing like came together for me to be able to do this. And it's like perfect because the people, they need to connect with the crystals and the language of love. And there's wonderful things that can happen. Now, Kimberly and I are also doing retreats. We're doing retreat events. We're doing an angel retreat. I love it. We're doing an angel retreat at Angel Valley. Right outside of Sedona in October. So I'll put a link up for that.
Okay.
It's not, we're participating. It's going to be like a whole, people are going to be staying at the Angel Valley Resort. And, but it's an angel.
Where is the Angel Valley? Is that in Sedona?
It's right outside on 89A going toward Cottonwood.
Okay.
And it's like, and you can stay there. So there's an angel retreat happening. And I will be doing a couple of hours, and Kimberly will be there, and she'll be playing the crystal bowls while I sing in the language of light. And then I'm gonna, you know, be an angel medium, and I'm gonna be physically going to, you know, each person with, you know, the activations and, you know, the healing.
Right.
So, you know, we're doing that. We're gonna be doing more.
That's in October.
Yes, in October events, and I'm also doing another session. Psychic medium, medical intuitive scan. And I'm going to be doing that. That's another session that I'm doing that's new with Tom Dongo. We're going to be doing that. We actually do that together. We put our skills together. Now that's going to be over the phone or just, you know, long distance that we're going to be doing that.
That's a powerful thing. Tom's very legitimate. Tom's a good man.
Both of them. I mean, Tom, I feel, is probably the most extraordinary remote viewer, psychic medium I have ever met, or probably will ever meet in the whole entire world.
Wow.
Kimberly is just incredible. We were together yesterday for 4th of July, and I love her, and she's such an incredible healer.
She is
so
powerful.
She is fantastic, amazing. A lot of times, you know, when we do our work, people don't know how amazing she is because, you know, she's just doing the bowls.
Yeah.
Now, you know, but we have a whole synergy we do together.
Oh, I know. Well, I've been around her. I know. She was on the show, and she actually, I mean, yeah, I got a lot of messages about that show. She's a powerful, and she's like so many of them, you know, very quiet in the background, but I think each and every day, more and more of them are going to step up in a bigger way. So,
yes,
and I think that's what it's going to take, Shekina. I really do. You know, I get a little disappointed by the demographics of the shows I can see the metrics on, you know, and I really think the more the women step up and expand, which is a transformation in and of itself, because it is going from one state to another, the more good stress, good pressure it's going to put on the men to reach a little deeper and to expand, which is kind of like to contract, to expand their self, you know. More of that frequency, the divine feminine frequency that you talked about at the top of the show, is shown and displayed and expressed, the more you're going to see it in the opposite gender too, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, and the thing is, you know, the women, bottom line is the women we know this, the women have just stepped up.
Yeah.
The women, we're doing it regardless.
Yeah.
Without partners, we're doing it on our own. You know that. You've been here to Sedona, and we're a town of very powerful, extraordinary single women.
Yep, that's for sure.
And we're on our path, and we are just doing it. We're not let anything in our way. We are called, and we've got to do it.
Right.
And it's just I think because the feminine energy is the one that needed to heal and evolve through all of humanity. You know, the women just got the call because it was just natural for us.
Yeah.
It was so strong in us.
Yeah.
And we have a way of, you know, we are intuitive. We're intuitive and we're empath, and kind of naturally anyway. And it was the sacred divine feminine. So we kind of it was so strong in us because that was the call that needed to heal. You know, we could not hear it. We just had to do it.
That's right.
And the men will. It will affect the masculine.
Sure will.
And it is affecting the masculine. I mean, I'm seeing you and Morgan, and I'm seeing you and what's her name, Grace and her partner.
Mm-hmm.
And that blew me away. That blew me away, Todd, to see them come together.
Yeah.
And see them share really affected me.
Wow.
Affected me personally, and I just went, wow.
They're gonna be on in another week or so together.
I want to see that because there's something about that does something to me. And you know, I drive down every day to Cathedral, and what do I see? I see the twin flames, the twin flame statue. Now you can't see it on the other side of VOC, of Rock Area. You can only see it in West Sedona. But that's where I go. So every day I come down the big mountain hill, and I'm right looking at the twin flame, the sacred beloveds. And I look at them and I just go, whoa. Because there is a power at Cathedral, the twin flames, the sacred beloved.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's getting good now. It's getting really good. Well, it's good seeing you.
It was good seeing you, Todd. And please support Todd's show. Please support. You're supporting all of us. You're supporting the community. You're Every time you support Todd in the show, you're uniting the community. You're increasing the awareness, increasing the support, but you're uniting us, all of us, when you do that. And I also say thank you to all the beings that comment on my YouTube channel. It really makes a difference. People who reach out to me and they say these things, that's my support.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of my energy and the empowerment, and I'm really, really grateful. Thank you. Please go to my YouTube channel, because I feel like it's a community there, and I put so much out for you. So please reach out there, and all your comments. Thank you.
And ShekinaRose.com too, right?
It's ShekinaRose.com. Yes.
Love you. I see you.
Oh, I love you too.
Tell Tom hello, and I'm going to talk to Morgan and reach out to him. Long overdue to get him on the show.
Who? Tom
Dongo. Tom Dongo.
Great. Yeah, because we got Tom Bear. Tom Bear, I don't know if he got here because he went to, he thought it was the other day, a wrong day or something. And he was like, oh, I didn't know you were coming on today. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I got the wrong day messed up. So yeah, Tom Bear. Always in my house.
Yeah, mine too. He's been our #1 supporter over here. He's been absolutely invaluable. We got to get him on too. We got to get him on too. Yeah. I'll see you later. Love you.
Love to you, Todd.
Bye-bye.